G'day, it's Pete here, and today I wanted to talk about something all expert partnerships have, and that is have system notes. And I want to break down how they actually design them, what's the point of them, and I also want to highlight a sort of blank system note document that you can use if you want to build partnerships. Now, I want to talk about doing it with sort of partnerships that I've played in, from like one-off to play a few tournaments to like taking it all the way to the World Championships. And there is no one right or wrong way to actually build system notes. So I just want to highlight a few different ways, and you want to find something that works for you. So let's just jump in and take a look. So what the purpose of system notes is to create something that you can actually refer back to, and you've just got all the information of what your bids mean. And when something goes wrong, you can go back and look at it. And you don't need to like dive deep into the detail here, but you want to look at the general things that we're looking at here. So what most system notes actually cover is you'll have your conventions. Importantly, you'll talk a bit about carding, and then you'll also have what your opening bids sort of are, what your raise structures are, and a bit of detail there that you can go through. And often what actually happens is if there's something a bit unusual, what you might want to do is highlight. Lots of these are highlighted for like, is this what we're doing, and furthering discussion. But if there's something a bit unusual that you're not sure about, you highlight it so that when you look back at it, you can prompt your memory very well. So here, this was a partnership that I just played a little bit with, and we just highlighted a few conventions. We talked about our carding, our overcalls, and it's not very long. It's only 6 pages long, and there's not too much detail in there. There's also stuff on competitive bidding. Now, importantly, this is an aspect that often gets left out a fair bit in people creating their own system notes. But competitive bidding is an absolute must for what you actually want in system notes. So this is a sort of basic. We were playing a fair bit, we played on and off for a little bit, but not too much detail here. But this would be a pretty basic one. But this is what you'd do if you play a few more times. This was a partnership where I basically played once. So here we've just got 4 pages. And again, one of the pages is all about competitive bidding and leads and carding. That is a really important thing that you actually want to touch on here. And other than that, we've just got descriptions of what our bids are and maybe what the responses actually are, and the general system. We're keeping it pretty basic here. But then I want to highlight what it was with my partnership that went to the World Championships. This one is 65 pages long, and we've got stuff on leads, signals, and also competitive bidding, and also some of the conventions that we have. But then we also had bids, and it just goes on forever. But we had a document which listed opening bids, responses to opening bids, opener's second bid, and responder's second bid, and had all that detail listed. So if we wanted to add something in, we could go back in, refer to it, and change it. Now, this style certainly isn't for everyone, but having this here meant that we could come back and look at it. And this just documented everything that we could feasibly do. And then outside of that, we also had this bidding in competition section. And this was just drove into specific situations where we can talk about bidding after preamps, or Michael's Q bids, whether we bid it or they bid it. And what about doubles? Talking about doubles is really, really important. And you want to be having a good chat about that, and make sure you're all understanding that. And we also had a lot of detail on artificial overcalls. So this is more at the high end of the spectrum, but I just wanted to highlight what that possibly can be. And finally, I just wanted to highlight a blank system notes one. So I've got a big document, which is 33 pages long. So if you want to start a really detailed partnership, and get a system notes in here. Here's a potential one for you. If you want it, I'm more than happy to send it out. But what we've got in here is, for starters, we've just got like a checklist of questions that I reckon is useful to make sure that people are on the same page. So you want to go through and ask these questions with your partner and see that you just tick these off and you're all along the same wavelength. It's talking about your initial agreements, like what system that you're playing, what raise structures are you playing, what about defense, some sort of conventions that are relatively common, and then slam bidding and getting those all in line, making sure that you agree with them. And then it's just got all of the bids listed out that you might want to open, and then the responses that you might want to cover. And you can go through and fill these in as you go. And then importantly, at the end, there's a page where you can talk about different doubles. And these are some unusual doubles that might come up, and you can discuss with your partner and just check that you both agree what the doubles are. It doesn't matter if like how you play the double is the right way, but one of the biggest issues partnerships actually get into is not understanding when one player thinks a double's takeout and the other one thinks that it's penalties. So I just wanted to highlight these. These are a few different ways that I actually have had system notes with partnerships, and all expert partnerships have these. It's useful to have a document that you can refer back to, because you don't want to just rely on your memory or what you've said, but having this, you can check what you do. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.